The food that we eat every day is responsible for 30% of greenhouse gas emissions. We need to do something about it. But here's the challenge. How do we find foods that are good for us and good for the planet and are also not the polar opposite of what we are used to eating? To solve this problem, I've designed an innovative software called the IOTA model. IOTA simulates sustainable diets that meet nutritional, environmental, and economic targets, doing all this while remaining acceptable and realistic. Now, I'd like you to imagine stepping inside the calculation engine of the IOTA software, where the sustainable diets of the future are being programmed. Welcome to the IOTA universe. Here we have different information regarding the food that we eat. Every food in the IOTA model has its own profile, much like a dating app, but for foods. Instead of people, we have carrots, bacon, and milk. Every consumer group also has a profile with their age and gender-specific nutrient requirements, as well as their sustainability goals, and most importantly, their budget. IOTA processes all this data using a technique called linear programming. It goes through all this information and finds the best combination of foods for matching the consumer's needs. After doing many calculations, it lands on the best matching diet for meeting the sustainability needs of that particular consumer. What we found so far is that sustainable diets don't look the same for everyone everywhere, because our nutritional requirements and our dietary habits are not the same for everyone everywhere. It is important for us to realize the differences between our dietary habits and eating patterns. What makes IOTA stand out is its incredible adaptability and accessibility. Whether you're a scientist, a policymaker, an educator, IOTA is here to help you find sustainable solutions that are attainable. Thank you.
Thank you, Mahya. Any questions?
Cool. It sounds really interesting. It's based on a group thing, so it couldn't be. Could you tailor it to individuals so that this individual was eating too much bacon and?
Yeah. That's definitely possible, but what we are working with are the consumer groups, and we get our data from the nutrition surveys, for example, the adult nutrition surveys in New Zealand. So we have the consumers group by group based on their age and genders.
Cool. Thank you.
Thank you for that. How might this model be used for other groups around the world? And also just a comment about the nutritional survey. The last survey was done in 2009.
Ancient, I know.
Yes. So I know that that needs to be updated. So any comments around that too, please?
Yeah. It definitely needs to be updated. So one of the limitations of our model is that we rely on external sources of data. We don't collect our own data. And whatever limitations that those data sources have, it will be carried over to our data. So for New Zealand, you are definitely right. We have the very old nutrition surveys from 2009, and we are way overdue for new nutrition surveys. So if there are policymakers here, if there are people who can fund research, please do.